delegation so as to be able to make it an effective tool in our workplaces, in our homes, in our respective life endeavors. Okay, so that's very, very important. So in this course, we are going to be looking at explaining what is delegation, why people do not delegate, the benefits of delegating, what tasks we should not delegate, describe the delegation process, a simple delegation rule, levels of delegation, types of delegation, and we also look at the delegating skills, listing the delegating skills, and then explaining the barriers to delegation. Let's quickly look at this little case study, and then we proceed. I have to interview a candidate for the team lead position today. Assign tasks for the day, project status report to delivery head, client meeting, getting the latest status update, interview candidates, team lead position. Now, let's look at the thoughts of the project manager, Samuel Davison, who is going to be doing all of this. Okay. Oh no, how will I do all of this in just one day? This is just one of the days out of the hectic life of any manager. Just like Samuel, no manager can deal with all of that task, all of the tasks he has to finish if he tries to do it all by himself. This is where the art of delegation plays an important role. If Samuel decides to delegate a few of his tasks to subordinates, he can get all his day's tasks done and accomplish much more than if he tries to do it all single-handedly. Delegating a skill, or perhaps delegating is a skill, and it's important to know the nuisance of delegating a task. So let us learn about delegation skills in detail. So first, what is delegation? Delegation, or delegating, the art of investing with authority to act for another, or the distribution of responsibility and authority to others while holding them accountable for their performance. Hence, delegating means asking someone else to perform a task that is one of your responsibilities or work that you are being paid to do. It is entrusting responsibility and authority to others, who then become responsible to us for their results, but will remain accountable to our boss for what our subordinates do. So in accountability, as you are delegating, you are also taking, sharing the responsibility of whatever the outcome is. Now, quickly, what are the elements of delegation? We have authority, we have responsibility, and we have accountability. Quickly, let's look at each of them and see what they have to tell us. In authority, authority can be defined as the power and right of a person to use and allocate the resources efficiently, to take decisions, and to give orders as to achieve the organizational objectives. Authority must be well defined. People with authority should know the scope of their authority. Authority always flows from top to bottom. A superior uses authority to get work done from his subordinate by clearly explaining what is expected of him and how he should go about it. Authority should be accompanied with an equal amount of responsibility. Delegating the authority to someone else doesn't imply escaping from accountability. Accountability will still rest with the person having the utmost authority. Responsibility is the duty of the person to complete the task assigned to him. A person who is given the responsibility should ensure that he accomplishes the task assigned to him. Responsibility without adequate authority leads to discontent and dissatisfaction among the person. Responsibility flows from bottom to top. The person held responsible for a job is answerable for it. Now, if you look at the other way around, authority is from top to bottom, but responsibility is from bottom to the top. Accountability. Accountability means giving explanations for any variance in the actual performance from the expectations set. Accountability cannot be delegated. For example, if A is given a task with sufficient authority and A delegates his task to B and asks him to ensure that task is done well. The responsibility rests with B, but accountability still rests with A. The top level management is most accountable no matter what happens. Accountability, in short, means being answerable for the end result. Accountability can't be escaped. It arises from the responsibility. Now, what are the importance of delegation? Delegation is one of the most important management skills. Delegating is nothing but internal outsourcing. So what we call outsourcing in delegating in a corporate world simply means internal outsourcing, getting people from within your team to help you carry out your responsibility. The main purpose of delegating is time management so that you can concentrate on bigger and main assignments which need your attention. Good delegation saves you time, develops your team, grooms your successors, and motivates them. Poor delegation will cause you frustration, demotivates people, and confuses the other person and fails to achieve the task or purpose itself. Now, quickly, why people do not delegate? People do not generally delegate due to wrong mentality. So number one reason why people do not delegate is wrong mentality. Some of the reasons that people usually fail to delegate are: do not understand the need to delegate, lack of confidence to delegate, do not know how to delegate, failed to delegate in the past, like particular jobs, and all of that. Of course, we've also discussed some of these other hindrances like fear, lack of trust, lack of resources, as also part of the things that could result to hindering delegating. Now, what are the consequences of not delegating? Information and decision making not shared by the group. Leaders become tired and are worn out. When leaders leave groups, no one has experience to carry on. So when you don't delegate, there'll be no mentoring, there'll be no coaching. So succession will be difficult. Group morale becomes low and people become frustrated and feel powerless. When we do not delegate or do not delegate right, these are part of the consequences that we face. The skills and knowledge of the group organization are concentrated in few people. That means knowledge sharing, experience sharing is low, which affects organizational performance at the end of the day. They have new members don't find any ways to contribute to the work of the group. So where there is no delegation, you could see someone being hired 1 to 3 months, he still doesn't know the bearing of his work. Like currently I have a young man who got a job, I think since January, but he has not resumed. They are paying him salary, but he has not resumed. He's working with a federal ministry, okay, a federal ministry here in Abuja. He has not resumed, but he's still collecting salary, okay. This I'm going to say may sound funny, but is somewhat funny. A man had his wife working with government, and for like 1 year they were paying the wife, and the wife was not going to work, and she asked the wife to resign. So the question is, did the man do a good thing? He feels like the wife is not doing any work, so why should they be paying her? He wanted her to get the work, not because of the pay, because he wanted her to learn from the work. So if she has spent 1 year already and you're still paying her salary, and she's not getting to know about, she doesn't even know which office to report to, okay? All she knows is that every month they pay her, and that's all right? So did the man do a right thing or a wrong thing? You can share your answer in the chat room. Goals of delegating. Delegation can be used to achieve various goals, such as to empower team members to perform the task. Okay, to free up manager to be manager and not a doer. To train team members to perform tasks. To let team members handle complaints. To show that leadership does not mean you have to be in charge of everything. Okay, then push down work to the lowest level that can perform the task. So by delegating, it helps us to push down the work to the lowest level that will perform the task, and then help us to motivate associates, relinquish authority in the most appropriate way, free them to perform the tasks, like free managers, and then help the subordinates to perform the task. And then to not micromanage team members, to eliminate the risk of micromanagement of team members. Now, quickly, what are the benefits of delegating? Benefits of delegating: increases associate responsibility, ownership, and enjoyment, builds team environment. Associates gain knowledge and skills, ensures tasks are done timely, allows for day offs and flexibility in scheduling, reduced turnover because motivated and engaged employees don't terminate. Increased consistency as people know why we do things. Then teamwork, get all involved. No more you are telling them, but them doing and motivating each other. Okay, so in teamwork, get them to be much more involved. Know more of what you need to tell them, know how to motivate them, and also be a team player, so that it will not just be a thing of I talk, you walk. No, it has to be that you empower them, right, so that they go ahead and do and also motivate themselves. Then trains individuals for the next level, allows to meet all deadlines as lots of us are doing. Then lets things run the same way when manager is on leave as when manager is present. Prepares you for the next step. Corporate role requires ability to delegate and follow up, lets you focus on doing things your staff can't, makes your job manageable. You can't do everything and you are not supposed to. Lets you develop and train your team, prepares you for the next level, evaluate others' work instead of doing it yourself, and then check off things done instead of rushing around to do them, frees you to focus on management tasks, lets you train individuals for the next level. Common excuses to not delegate: I can't do it. Okay, I can do it better myself. Okay, these are some of the reasons why people feel like they shouldn't delegate. I don't know if I can trust my subordinate to do it. My subordinate isn't qualified to do it. My subordinate doesn't want more responsibility. I don't have time to show my subordinate how to do it. My subordinate already has enough to do. I can do it faster than my subordinate. My subordinate messed up last time I assigned a task. I am the manager. So these are some of the reasons why people feel they should do all the work themselves. So why delegate? To use skills and resources already within the group, to keep from burning out a few leaders, to develop new leaders and build new skills, to delegate things or to get things done, to become more powerful as a group, to allow everyone to feel a part of the effort and success, to effectively manage time, to increase productivity, to allow growth of the deputy, rather, to prevent the group from getting too dependent on one or two leaders, to free yourself to run your business and to see the big picture, to develop your employees and make them more valuable, to walk through others to be effective, to equip members to solve their own problem, to use everyone to their maximum potential, to maximize the overall effectiveness of you and your team, to give you more time for adding value, to motivate your staff and assess their potential, to respond faster to changes in your business when you can rely on nimble employees to take charge. Group members feel more committed if they have a role and feel needed. Now, flowchart for delegation decision. You can use the following flowchart to come to a decision whether the task can be delegated or not. Does this need to be done? If no, resist and stop that work, or resist and stop that task. Does this need to be done? All right, now, if yes, does it need to be done by me? If no, consider delegating it. If yes, does it need to be done now? If no, you can plan on delegating it. And then if yes, you do it. Now, with this simple flowchart, you can know which work to do, which ones to delegate. And by delegating also, or perhaps by knowing which works to do and the ones to delegate, it will help you to know which areas you need to empower your group, your team members, your staff on. Okay, very, very important. If it is not a must that you must be the one sending out the emails. Then you must learn to train your group on how to send out emails, when to send the emails, they value the emails you carry and all of that. If you're not the one to be for calls, if you mustn't answer all the calls, then you need to find out how to empower whoever they're going to delegate that responsibility to, so as to know what to respond to each call, how to report on each call and all of that. Okay, so number one, how critical is the work? Must it be done? If it must be done, must it be done by me? If it must be done by me, must it be done now? Look at these questions and use them to analyze those tasks around your office, around your table. Okay, basically what I do is that every week I have a chart. Maybe not every week, but at least I have a chart of what I need to do over a period of time. So if I have a 1 week tasks, list of tasks that need to be done, I need to find out which ones I need to focus on. The priority task, I focus on them. Then the ones that are not priority, I find a way to delegate it to other people in the office, and everybody get to focus on their work. And then in our organization here, for those of us that are within the admin group, we have this book that we call the performance workbook. Is what do you call it now? All these long notes, all these 10-in-1 long notes, all right? I intentionally bought it for the team. And what we normally do there is, in your office, when you come on Friday, you list out all the things that you think you should be doing next week. So from Monday to Friday, you should list out everything. You put a date. So if it is April 1st to April 5th, you list all of the things you're expected to do. All of the offices do that in that performance book. Everybody does that. And then the supervisor in charge goes through each of the lists. And the essence of going through each of those lists for each of those tasks in those offices is to find out which of those tasks are priority. If you list some of the tasks that are not priority, the manager or the supervisor can tell you, this one, let's move it to this other week. All right. Now, what will now be your job? By the time you come on Monday, you take out the ones you have done. By the time you're going, you're reporting on the work you've done from the list of tasks you gave on Friday, the previous Friday. So from Monday to Friday, you ensure that you carry out all those tasks. Please also do remember, by the time you're doing that on Friday, if there are tasks that the supervisor feel like we omitted them and they need to be done, he brings it back and then fix them as, is it carryover? Is it carryover now? Okay, let me use that word. Carryover tasks that were supposed to be done last week that were not done. The supervisor brings it to the next week and then make sure that it fits to where it's supposed to be. And then there are contingent work also. There are contingent work. So while you're working on the ones you know, you should also make room for the ones you don't know. By the time you come to work on Monday, you should find out if there are contingent work that are coming up that will demand your attention on Tuesday. Then you look at your schedule for Tuesday and then know how to manage that. Now, by doing that, we have reduced work to the barest minimum. Now, if you wish to work from your home, you're on your own. If you wish to come to the office and do the work, good. But the simple truth is we already have a list of what needs to be done. And we have a system where we monitor all of the tasks you're going to be doing. So if you get them done, we appraise you right. If you don't get them done, somebody will quickly get back to you and ask you what is happening. Your task is not getting done. Okay, and you have to sit up and do it. All right. So if you have such a, will I say, proactive work pattern, then it's already set that, okay, you know which ones to delegate and which ones to focus on. All right. So if what I just shared seems good, you can try it with your organization. Have a worksheet. By Friday, everybody write down all of the things you're going to be doing next week. Put the date so that the supervisor will go through it and then know whether those work are going to be beneficial or not, and then help prioritize the work, more importantly. Now, what to delegate is important to decide what to delegate. The following should be kept in mind to decide whether a task should be delegated or not. Do not delegate what you're not able to do yourself. Delegate, don't abdicate. Okay, because some of us, when we delegate, we don't pay attention to it again. It's like it doesn't concern us again. All right. Delegate things that aren't part of your core competencies. Don't delegate what you can eliminate. If you shouldn't be doing an activity, then perhaps you shouldn't be giving the activity away to others. Eliminate it. Create a plan to delegate. Don't give out assignments haphazardly. Create a plan to delegate, just like what I just shared now. Still on what to delegate. Hence, why deciding what to delegate? Remember that you should delegate any task that your subordinates can do. Better tasks or tasks they can do better than you, at least less expense than you, with better timing, as part of their normal functions, as a contribution to their training and development, to assess their suitability for their promotion. All of this could be reasons why we could sublet or perhaps delegate to people internally. Now, quickly, what tasks should we not delegate? It is critical to remember that all tasks are not equal. Hence, all tasks cannot be delegated. As a manager, it is important for you to discriminate and decide which tasks cannot be delegated. So what should we not delegate? Generally speaking, we should not delegate leadership for our people. We should not delegate anything our immediate boss wants us to do personally. We should not delegate promotion, praise, and discipline for our immediate subordinates. We should not delegate selection, training, and performance appraisal for subordinates. We should not delegate a concentrated focus on our value-added priorities. We should not delegate our overall and planning for our area of responsibility. We should not delegate performance evaluations, disciplines, or praising employees, tasks involving confidential information, company-wide decision-making, managerial responsibilities like team building or employee development activities where objectives aren't well defined. Now, quickly, how do we delegate? How do we delegate? The following are the steps for how to delegate. Decide what to delegate, choose the right candidate, communicate objective, relinquish authority, monitor progress, let go, give credit. Now, quickly, in detail. Decide what to delegate. Decide which tasks need to be delegated. Choosing the right candidate, choose the right person to delegate the task. The right person need not to be the most experienced or smartest. Choose people such that to train them and let them grow. Communicating objective, tell what, why, and when. Define expected outcomes or results. Don't tell how. Provide project constraints and deadline. Relinquishing authority. Encourage independence. Allow the delegate to make decisions. Don't second gaze. Monitor progress. Ask for progress reports. Agree on follow-up dates and time. Expect mistakes. Meet with the employee to make sure things are getting done. Set progress meetings in advance. Let go. Be flexible. There is more than one way to do something. Then give credit, provide praise and feedback, give credit where credit is due. Publicly, let everybody know who did it. When should I delegate? The decision to delegate the right kind of task to the right person and at the right time is critical. Here are a few reflection questions that you should ask yourself about each aspect of the work you should or you do to make the decision to delegate or not. Is this a task that only I am supposed to do, or is it okay to let someone else do it? Will another person be able to handle this task? Is this task taking up too much of my valuable time that I can actually need to use to, or that I actually need to use to communicate, coach, and develop my team, or help them with leaders training? Am I sticking to this task because it feels comfortable, or am I used to doing it? Do I need, or perhaps do I do this menial task because I can do it so well, or I do not want to give up that comfortable feeling? Am I hanging on to the task although I do not want to do it because I think no one else will want to? Is it possible for someone else to do this task? We then need leadership training to be able to do it. Now, these are some of the questions you consider. Who should you delegate it to? An important aspect of the delegation process is selecting the right person to delegate the tasks to. There are various factors that you need to consider for this, such as simplifying or altering the task to suit the competence of available staff. Person should be found who possess the correct level of expertise, the availability of various individuals of the staff, the expertise level of the person, the experience, knowledge, and skills of the individuals as they apply to the delegated task, the confidence level of the person, the willingness and responsibility of the person to complete the task as his own, the individual's preferred work style. Will your delegating this task require reshuffling of other responsibilities and workloads? You can select the expertise level of the person depending upon the complexity of the task and the particular demands of the individual task. Now, quickly, let's look at levels of competence of people before delegating to them. We have the novice, we have the beginner, we have the competent, we have the proficient, then we have the expert. And each of them have their own levels of competence. Novice does not really know anything about this whole work. So he critically adheres to rules, has little experience, and has inflexible behavior. Then you have the beginner, limited perception, place advice in context. They have the competent, gaining perspective, standardized procedures, proficient, holistic view, faster decision making, uses deviations from norm, and expert, no longer needs to analyze. Enormous experience, he has enormous experience, he has intuitive grasp and advanced problem solving. So all of this explain the different categories of people who we can delegate to. And by the task available to us, we should know from this who we should delegate, whether to a novice, an expert, a beginner, a proficient person, and the rest. Now, steps of effective delegation. Number one, clarify your goals and opportunities. Number two, decide what goals and projects can be done by others. Number three, select the right person. Number four, organize the tasks being delegated. Number five, give clear instructions and request feedback. Number six, set deadlines and ask for report. Number seven, support and monitor. Number eight, recognition. Now, quickly describing the process of delegation. 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 Select what to delegate, decide on how much authority you will give them, clearly communicate precisely what you are delegating, and then check out for mutual understanding around what was agreed, and then follow up, evaluate, and recognize work well